24 hours to digest the tactical battle. Any doubts about who came out on top?
Oh, Thomas Tuchel came out on top. They should have won the game. It was fascinating watching both coaches, and it was almost like a privilege to the position I was in, just to be watching these two great managers going out. And this league, with 30-year anniversary, we've got the best managers in the world, and it was brilliant to see the tactical changes at different times. But Tuchel definitely came out on top, and we're very unfortunate not to win the game. But Thomas Tuchel told us before the game he's going to play a back five. And I said on commentary, he was 50% told us the truth. So we look at the back five now. So what they were is they were a back five when Tottenham had the ball. So there's your back five there. And so they played like that. But what was really interesting was the roles ahead of that as well. So we'll just clear that. The role of Reece James in there, it was almost a man marking job, stepping in with Son, not alongside us other centre-backs. So that was definitely a tactic. And the role here of Mason Mount to drop in alongside that centre midfield player of Tottenham. Kante did the same. So the two centre midfield players for Tottenham were locked in. And Jorginho was just there almost as the spare man. So Tottenham couldn't play through them. They couldn't get out. So they end up going long. And what I want you to watch is how quickly Chelsea go from that back five. And the two people to watch now is they've got the ball back. Is Loftus-Cheek coming in here and Reece James going there. And as soon as there was a turnover in possession, the formation changed very quickly. And that's where they caused huge problems for Tottenham because they were just playing in and around that formation. And again, I said the free man in midfield was Jorginho. Stop. Look at the position of this fella now, Mason Mount, who's just done a great defensive job, stopping Tottenham playing. Now finding holes either side of the central midfield players of Tottenham. What that does is you've now got a centre-back who's jumping 10 or 15 yards, running out of position to close them down. And that summed up Chelsea in that first 15, 20 minutes. Again, you see that they're in the back four. You can just see it there, right across, because they're in possession. There's your back four. But what they did and the big problem they gave the midfield of Tottenham, and I felt sorry for the two central midfield players of Tottenham, because the man I keep talking about who was key to all this was Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who went from wing-back to almost a number 10 position. And what they had was players, Mason Mount, Jorginho, Kante, and there's Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And the two centre midfield players, I mean, it must have been an absolute nightmare for them, for Tottenham. So this is what I'm talking about, the problems Thomas Tuchel gave Antonio Conte. He was a great coach. And these are the problems that he got consistently through the game. Now, the thing that let them down in this game was they never created enough for their actual superiority, and the thing that let them down was the final ball. Look at Mason Mount there, free. Normally delivers so often, as we saw in the second half, Reece James, but there were opportunities if there was better quality coming from that sort of final pass, really. Now, I just want to highlight again, we've mentioned Mount's job and Kante's job on the two centre midfield players to lock them in. But Kante now jumps to the centre-back. I just want you to keep an eye on Mason Mount. And one of the reasons why this lad keeps getting picked for Chelsea and keeps getting picked for England, because he can take on instruction and tactical instructions from a coach. When he jumps, you get a cross. And we've got to stop, be compact and stop them getting out on that side. Brilliant again. He wins the ball back, Mason Mount, even though he's been on the other side of the pitch. Raheem Sterling and Havertz combined, they were both really sharp. But that's the corner that then led to the goal. And even though it was only 1-0, you just look at the match stats from the first half. And this is obviously we get to half time. And I mean, they've just absolutely battered Tottenham. Again, we're talking about Tottenham being the team who can challenge the top two. Got a great coach, as we've saw. But the numbers just tell you how dominant Chelsea were in that first half.
We expected a reaction. What if anything, changed in the second half?
Well, nothing changed at the start of the second half, but Antonio Conte had to make a change. He went 4-4-2 and he brought Richarlison on. I don't think that change altered the game too much. I think it was the role of Richarlison just providing energy, because they looked dead on the feet in the first half. But what Thomas Tuchel then did was go, oh, OK, I'm going to go back to my normal system, because you're playing a 4-4-2. And when you play that 3-5-2, if you do it right, you can outnumber teams at the back post. And it was a brilliant change from the manager. Again, Conte made his change and got his team back into the game. But if you just look as the throw-in's taken, no, we just stop it now. You see your back four from Tottenham. Across the pitch, there's your midfield four, and there's your front two. And the one straight away, the player who was the best player on the pitch for me, that's where you can outnumber teams at the back post with the wing back. Because the problem you can get is sometimes you end up 5v4 as a back four. So when you see the ball moving, Kulusevski does lose it, of course he does. Maybe could clear the lines better. To poor touch, they lose it now. But the problem you've got is, there's your front three from Chelsea, who normally play with a striker and two off. Raheem Sterling's there. So the two centre-backs get dragged over because there's players right in front of them. And then Ben Davies here has got a huge problem. Does he go in here, or does he look after that? And that's the problem you can have, a back four playing against the wing-back system. So brilliant from Thomas Tuchel to change it as soon as Conte did. And then, as I said, Reece James, the best player on the pitch, finishes it, and they will feel really hard done by that they didn't get the 3 points.
Chelsea